joins us live with the details. Camille, just terrifying moments to talk about here.
Yeah, an absolutely horrific situation for these customers. I mean, imagine you're going in to maybe buy a pack of cigarettes or a pack of gum or whatever, and suddenly you find yourself locked inside and you can't get out, and the gas station attendant is not letting you out until it's too late. Take a listen.
I think he should be charged. I really do.
A gas station clerk is now being charged in connection with a triple shooting at a Detroit gas station on May 6th. Wayne County prosecutor Kim Worthy says Al-Hassan Aish played a role in the shooting death of an innocent customer because he pushed an automatic security button locking the doors. It happened at this mobile on McNichols near the lodge. Customers trapped inside with the gunman upset about his $4 purchase being declined. Police say Samuel McCray shot all three of them. Gregory Kelly died at the scene. The other two men survived.
Minding your own business, you come into a business and you get shot. I mean, what kind of sense would that make?
Meanwhile, the store clerk, just 22 years old, was not in harm's way.
He was behind the bulletproof. He should have never locked the door.
Aish is being charged with involuntary manslaughter. Investigators say he eventually pushed a security button to unlock the doors, but failed to tell the customers. They say that was just seconds before McCray started shooting.
So I can tell you right now that the gas station remains closed. Police closed it down the day of the shooting. Actually happened in the middle of the night, so later that day. They closed it down because it was an unauthorized business, not licensed, nothing to do with the shooting, but it still remains closed to this day. And again, this suspect expected to be formally charged, and we'll get a first look at him tomorrow morning. Reporting live, Camille Amiri, Fox 2 News.
Yeah, sadly, in Detroit and many other big cities, gas station parking lots or the stations outdoors are considered the danger zones. Here, you don't imagine that someone would be trapped inside with a gunman, making that the worst place to be.
Yeah, and it really makes you think, too, that, you know, this was an argument between the store clerk and the guy who wanted the stuff, even though he couldn't pay for it. He was declined. So he tried to leave with that stuff. And then, of course, he hits that button like you can't get out. But then things escalate. And then you see that these people are trapped inside and they can't get out. And then he hits the button, but he doesn't tell them. I mean, it's a horrible scenario. It's just something that none of us imagined that we would ever be a part of. Our heart goes out to everybody involved in this.
Unimaginable terror inside, and such a sad loss at the same time. Camille Amiri for us live. Thank you. Let's get right to Fox News' Dave Kinchin. He's working this story for us tonight with more on this proposal. Dave.
Yeah, there's no question this terrible, shocking, atrocious crime has shaken the entire city, the region, and certainly city officials. They have been alarmed by this as well. So community leaders and city officials, they're about to take some action.
Absolutely devastating, right? That this father of three beautiful children, two beautiful girls, one very strong, handsome young boy, was taken away from them foolishly, recklessly, irresponsibly, for absolutely no reason.
Detroit minister and activist Teferi Brent spent the day saying a final goodbye to 37-year-old Gregory Carlos Kelly, who was shot and killed after being locked inside this gas station on the city's west side following a Cinco de Mayo night out with some friends.
We are committed to ensuring that we as community servants and leaders do everything we can to ensure this never ever happens again.
One way he's doing that is by pushing Detroit City Council members to introduce and pass legislation that will close the inside of gas stations to the public from 11 p.m. through the overnight hours.
There's no reason for a business to be open. Too much crime, too many things are happening at that time, and they don't have armed guards. Either you make them shut down or you make them hire armed guards to ensure that our citizens are safe.
22-year-old store clerk Al-Hassan Ayash has been charged with involuntary manslaughter in connection to the shooting. Investigators say he locked the victims inside the store before the shots were allegedly fired by 27-year-old Samuel Anthony McCray. The whole incident taking place after an argument over just a few dollars.
Please, man, don't shoot us. We don't got nothing to do with this, man. And my friend said something like, man, he ain't gonna shoot us, let us up out of here. And he started shooting.
Fox 2 talked with David Langston, who survived after taking gunshots to the back and arm. He was covering his face the whole time. He was in the gas station with his close friend Gregory Kelly, who was murdered that night.
Man, we did not desire that, man. I asked you nicely, man, please don't shoot us, bro. And you still did it, man. That's hurt.
You know what? You cannot be locking the doors on people. That's kidnapping. That's false imprisonment.
City Council member at large Mary Waters says she is 100% for that legislation banning workers from locking customers inside businesses ahead of imminent danger.
People were begging, please open the door. He did not do that.
Well, we do know the arraignment for the clerk is set for 10 a.m. tomorrow. Also, we're told from city officials that this legislation will likely take about 3 weeks before it gets into some form that could be voted on. We'll keep following it all. We're live at Detroit Police Headquarters. Dave Kinchin on The Edge.
Well, talking about this ordinance, Dave, I mean, sadly, we've heard about these sort of shootings happening inside gas stations in broad daylight. So it'll be interesting to see if having an ordinance like this would make a difference.
Yeah, it's a big question. You know, there's people out there who have even said online that they thought Project Greenlight would actually be a solution to some of this as well, some of the overnight violence and issues at gas stations. So clearly, it's something that police are trying to work on, and it's something the policymakers are trying to put together. So we'll see if this does indeed make a difference. It'll all be in how the language is drafted as well.
Good morning. Today is Friday. It is May 19th. The year is 2022. Y'all, these months are flying by. We're already almost in June. We are exactly 1 week away from, not this weekend, but next weekend, Memorial Weekend. I didn't even realize that I was looking at something for that weekend, and I looked and I said, oh, that's actually Memorial Weekend. But anyway, today is Friday, May 19th. The year is 2023. It's well, can you imagine you're in the gas station, buying some chips, some gum, some minor little stuff. In comes a crazy man who attempts to buy $4 worth of stuff. You don't know. You're minding your business. You don't know what's going on. The man's transaction is declined for whatever reasons. It's late at night. The man gets angry and attempts to walk out the store with this $4 worth of items. The clerk, who's behind solid glass in a control, the registers, he's behind all his glass, double bulletproof glass. He locks the door so that the man who's trying to steal $4 worth of shit cannot leave. Now this deranged, drunk, high guy, who knows, is angry. He's trying to get out of there. He's pissed. He pulls out a gun and shoots the other customers, 3 other customers, killing one of them. When I tell y'all I stay away from gas stations in certain areas, y'all, this clerk had no business locking people into that store. And he most certainly had no business locking the door over somebody trying to steal $4 worth of bullshit. And they did the right thing to charge that man with a crime, because he had no business locking those customers in there. But this person, I stay away from these horrible areas, y'all. I know that some of y'all don't have some of us don't have a choice but to shop and live in these fucked up ass neighborhoods with all this craziness. But I made a vow that I'm not living in these neighborhoods like that. I don't give a fuck what's going on, what it costs, how much you save, and I don't give a shit. I'm not living in those areas. I'm not going to I've driven by, there's some gas stations in Atlanta I've driven by for decades. I'm not going in them fucked up ass gas stations. And I see all them heathens standing around out there in the gas station. There are a couple of gas stations where there have been repeated shootings and killings at these gas stations. And I've never understood why the community has not made these gas station owners hire private security or police officers to just shoo away that element. But I know they have to worry about shooting me away because I'm not coming there. There's a gas station over on Boulder Crest Road. We used to live on Boulder Crest Road. And I would drive by that gas station, it was right by the house. I mean, right by where we stayed at. I'd drive 30 miles over to the next gas station before I would dare stop at that gas station. Because I knew better. I knew what it would be like, what the situation would be like at that gas station, side to side, and now this ain't for me. That man lost his life. An innocent customer minding his business. He's at the wrong place at the wrong time. No, that fool behind that gas, who was protected behind that, had no business locking the door. When he saw that man acting a fool, he should have just let the man go. Take the shit and go. Somebody trying to steal $4 worth of shit because their shit was declined. Something wrong with that person. Common sense got to kick in at some point. I don't care if y'all 22 years of age. At 22 years of age, I had common sense to know when the fuck you don't hold people hostage in no damn gas station because someone's trying to steal $4 worth of fucking bullshit. Man lost his life over nothing. Welcome to Niggerville, y'all. I'm just curious to see who, and then they said they found out that the gas station was operating without a business license or the correct business licensing and permits. It's like, okay, Detroit got some crazy shit going on up there, don't they? Because if I'm correct, that was Detroit. Yeah, because it was out the lodge, right off the lodge. I'm very familiar with Detroit. Man lost his life over something that could have been, they didn't have to happen. They didn't. Anyway, it's a beautiful Friday. I'm sitting outside. The house is being cleaned, so Ginger and Grace in their cage asleep. The girls are in there cleaning. We had some work done in the house. It was kind of dust everywhere, so I told them to show them all this dust that had to be cleaned up. But they're over there cleaning up all the dust and all the stuff inside the house. The show needed to be cleaned. It's been quiet over here. The weather's been kind of chilly the last 2 days. I don't know. Let me see. Because today I'm sitting out here drinking this tea, but I didn't have no coffee in the morning. I said I needed to take a break on that coffee I drink every day. What is this? Let's see. I'm trying to see what the temperature will be like today, the weather. It's going to be a high of 74 today. And that won't happen until 4 o'clock. Tomorrow's going to be some rain in the 80s. The weather's kind of weird, ain't it? The weather hasn't been all that great the past few days. Yeah, the weather has not been all that great. You have to wonder. But I've been over here trying to finishing up all the stuff inside the house. Now I gotta do a little sheetrock repair and do some more sand and live. It's always something else. A little sheetrock repair and trying to get everything back together inside here. There's always something. But anyway, I saw that news report and it kind of broke my heart that this innocent black guy was in there. Y'all better stay out of Niggerville. Even if you live in Niggerville, you can't shop in Niggerville. These gas stations are deadly. I know it's late at night, so I know everything. All the grocery stores are closed. I try to handle all my business during the daytime before nighttime comes. I try to get everything resolved so I don't have to deal with going into these places late at night. Nah, I mean, that's probably your best bet. Go in the daytime so you don't have to deal with all that shit. If you know, like I know. Otherwise, you can be facing some very serious I'll just say be very careful. And stay out of certain areas. We've had so many incidents of people getting shot and killed at these gas stations in Atlanta. It just don't make sense. I'd be very careful about going to these gas stations in certain parts of the city. I try to stick to my favorite. I like to go to Kroger gas station. Even the Kroger gas station now, they've put security in some of the gas stations that I've been to at Kroger. They actually have security there now. On some of them, not all of them. Particularly, there's a few that have convenience stores that you can walk into. They got security block percent right up in that store. Like, okay, niggas, what y'all up to? So, be careful. And everybody has a gun these days. You just wonder how the hell all these crazy people get guns. Well, of course, crazy people, paranoid and dementia and schizophrenia and God knows whatever else is going on in their head. They go get a gun. So what do you need a gun for? Somebody's coming after me. Who's coming after you? And I've had these conversations. I say, nobody's coming after you. Yeah, I gotta have a gun. People are trying to harm me. Who are these people trying to harm you? No, you trying to harm people with this gun you gonna get. And clearly that crazy man ain't had no business having no damn gun. And no business. They be making some arrests here in Atlanta, and I just sit back and shake my head at the people they arrested, they catch with guns and all kinds of crazy shit. I just sit back and say, these are some idiots. I mean, they made an arrest here. They caught these guys with all this marijuana, like 90 pounds of marijuana or something else. I don't know. They said they could smell the damn marijuana. The people drove by sped by the police, man. And the police smelled marijuana and went and pulled their ass over. Found 90 pounds of marijuana, guns, weapons, cash, all this shit. I'm thinking. But it probably was high. I mean, they could have been high as hell. Who knows? People crazy. People are truly insane. People are truly insane. Well, I don't know, one of them days. I guess we can complain because for a second there, it did get kind of hot out here. For now, it's nice and cool. We better enjoy this cool weather while it lasts. But anyway, this is going to be a short little video. I just wanted to discuss that situation, that gas at these daily, y'all stay out these gas stations. Excuse me, over in Niggerville, stay away from them. They're so, your life is put at such risk, and all you trying to do is get some damn gas. All you trying to do is get some gas, and your life is your life is being, I don't know. I would say be careful. Be extreme, be careful, like I know. These people are truly insane. It will kill you it will take your life. An innocent person shot and killed at a gas station in the middle of Niggerville. Happens every day, unfortunately. This is just one instance where it made the news nationwide. I mean, I'm down here in Atlanta and heard about it. Something going on in Detroit. But anyway, it's been a short video. I got a bunch of day and night cleaning up. I need to point out some things I want her to do. I'm finally back to normal after taking all that prep. That damn prep I had my ass. I'm getting back to normal. It's still in my system. I can feel it. But the anxiety has gone down to Zippo. It's still there. I'm not going to say Zippo, but it's not as intense as it was. Wow. That was just like, okay, that was some crazy shit. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. If you ever dealt with anxiety, it's a horrible feeling. You can't control it. And so it's a bad, terrible, terrible feeling. I've always kind of dealt with anxiety even as a kid, but as an adult, I usually have something. If I take a medication or something, so it's always something that brings it about. It's not. It doesn't just happen. That medicine definitely was causing severe anxiety. It was horrible. But I'm doing much better now. I'm grateful that I figured it out. I still have a sneaky suspicion that a lot of guys who are on PrEP is basically an HIV drug used for HIV, for people who are living with HIV. It helps the drug keeps, it's a medication for them, but they also use it for PrEP for people who are HIV negative, so they don't end up positive in the event they're having sexual relationships and come in contact with someone who could be positive. But I can imagine, although it's a small percentage, I can imagine that if someone's on these drugs, like for example, who's HIV positive and they're taking this heavy regimen of medications, that those drugs can be it can be a journey. I can imagine it can be pretty severe. If you're taking a medication and you have no clue and you're having some serious mental health issues, and you pop this pill every day, trying to get it saving your life, but it's altering your life at the same time, making your life worse, saving you from the effects of the HIV virus, but causing severe mental health issues that could end up causing you to harm yourself. I can imagine quite a few. We've had a bunch of suicides in the black gay community, and I have a sneaky suspicion maybe there was something going on with their medications that may have played a role in those suicides. I'm 1,000% sure of that, because when I know, y'all, that was the worst it's hard to even explain. But at one point in my mind, I said I'd rather be dead than go through this, before I realized what was going on. But I knew it was something I was taking. The question was what? I knew it was something I was taking. I was just trying to figure out what it was. We figured it out through that damn PrEP. Well, anyway, today is Friday, May 19th, the year is 2023. I may come back and do another video later. Who knows if it warms up out here or not. But let me get back in this house, and I need to point out a few things I want her to take care of while she's here. Anyway, it's a beautiful day. I'm out of here to enjoy the rest of this gorgeous Friday.